And that counting down at the end. Hello, I'm Paula Andrea Pyle, and welcome to Mode of Cosmic Therapy. I am delighted that you have chosen to spend the next few minutes with me as we venture into another who knows what. And that's what Mode of Cosmic Therapy is all about. Who does know what? I want to thank Mitzi for being here behind the camera out here in the studio with me. And I love her so much, and she's precious, and she does a great job. And on one of the other shows, you probably saw the back end of her when she was picking up my microphone that had disconnected. Again, Mitzi, I do love you so much, honey. And Sandy. Sandy's in the control room. I want to thank her for always being here and doing such a fine job. And from the other show, if you saw the thank you show, you were able to see that everything that occurs, I try to stress that all the time, good and bad and indifferent, is all part of the glorious, beautiful plan of God to administer in our lives to see how we will react. And that's the key thing, reaction, reaction, reaction. So let's get started. What I do, I use psychology, psychoanalysis, I use religion, philosophy, astrology, numerology, science. I really think of myself as a spiritual scientist. If I was going to label me, which I hate labels, but I would say that I am a scientist first and foremost, an artist second, a singer and songwriter third, a writer fourth. Well, let's go down the list. We all are. We're all those things combined. So that's why you see each time that you tune in all these books. I eat books like people eat food. I love books. I love learning. And because we're curious creatures, that's what we're here to do, to learn and to experience. I think that word is popping out, Mitzi, so I'm going to go ahead and start with that. I like this a lot better, Mitzi, than that dry erase board because I can see it better. So let's see what we're going to start with. We're going to learn something today, but we don't learn unless we are entertained. Paula, I'm not going to put the ED on it. When we learn, we entertain ourselves because we cannot possibly learn something we are not interested in. Wouldn't you agree, Mitzi? You have to have an interest. So, we are going to, I love that. I'm going to do a little bit of jiggle-jaggle here, okay? What we tend to do when we think that we're learning something or we're forcing ourselves to learn something we're not interested in, and we're not being entertained because we don't know how to have pleasure and not feel guilty, what happens is, I'm going to turn the letters around a little bit. What do? We lie to ourselves. All right? So, we're going to learn something here today. The reason we're going to learn something is because I'm going to learn something. I'm going to get it. You're going to get it. The ether's going to get it because they're giving it and getting it. And I'm going to entertain myself. I always entertain myself. And I am certainly interested in whatever this is that's going to unfold. But let's go ahead. I'm going to use numerology. That is a science. It is a science. It's an esoteric science, art and science, but it is a science. No different than the studying of DNA. We're studying the DNA of these letters. Let's start with a 12 here, okay? Then we're going to go to 5, 1. I'm going to keep them all out. Mitzi at this word for whatever reason. And then a 14. Okay, now all of you, are you taking notes so that you can refer back to them when I'm talking about and breaking down these words, and you're finding such wonderful lessons inside of these words. Anyway, learn. We got a 5 and we got 18. I think that's a 23, Mitzi. I think it is. And in the English language, 23 is W. So you start here, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go back up. All right? That's called experience. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You know, even in the sexual act, that's what you do. Down, up, down, up, down, up. All right, 23. So we're learning something. 12, 1, 13, 14. So we got a 27. My goodness sakes, Mitzi. Learning, experiencing 10 times. All right? Everything we do in life is about learning. We're learning something from somewhere, somehow, some way, some means. And if we're not, then we're just a bump on the log. Because we have this curious nature and we want to investigate and probe and dissect and ask questions. Why? Because we want to be entertained. We want to laugh. We want to be amused. We want to be shocked. We want to grow, to discover something we didn't know beforehand. All right? So we know that learn is a 50. Okay. Now we're going to do entertain, which happens to start with what? Experience. And then we've got another 14, the same 14 right here. Okay. Oh, I'm going to try to keep all these out too, Paula. All right, let's do it. Boy, got to work on my brain today. We got 2 14s in that word. All right, so we got a 19 and a 19. So that's 38. Yes, we got a 19 and 19. That E's got to go up there. That E's got to go up there. So we got to add that. So that's 43. All right, 43. And then down here we got a 20, 40, 58. Let me make sure. 20, 40, 58. And so we've got a 72. Wow, I'm going to find out something today, ain't I? 115. Is that right? Is that right? So we've got a 7 and a 9. Yeah, we got a 7, we got a 9, we got a 16. You mean to tell me that the tower that is total destruction and God striking us and making us shake from the very core of our being is entertainment to us and to whatever God is as well? Yes. How are we going to learn unless we go through these troubling times? When we're in those good times, we're just coasting along. We're just thinking, oh, ain't nothing going to happen to me. I'm going to keep my million. Ain't nobody going to do nothing to me. I'm going to drive my Cadillac and I'm going to be fine. We never, ever think about anything unless we are thrust into those situations that we don't understand necessarily or don't expect at the time. It's called chaos. We talked about it on another one. It's called 16. It's called, let me go ahead and do what this is. 4, 5, 1, 6. Okay, 4. Okay, that Wheel of Fortune. We talked about this on another show. You come down to get here, to come back up, to come back down, to come back up. So the DNA of God. All right now, so what was it? A 115 is entertained. Entertain. That's all we do. We entertain ourselves, we entertain others. Whether we're crying or whether we're laughing. Whether we're telling a story or whether we're being mad, we just entertain. For entertainment purposes only. Okay, we got a 9 in this interest. What did I tell you about that 9? That complete, got to penetrate. So we're going to start this interest, the word interest, with trying to discover something that will appeal to us or maybe not. but we will find. That's enough said. We will find. Whether it's good or bad is immaterial, because we're going to find it. But if it's of interest to us, we're going to gravitate to that. That's the only thing we're going to gravitate to. We're not going to gravitate to a single person, place, or thing that does not interest us. So if you're looking in the face of somebody and you're saying, why am I with you? Because you are interested in that person, something about that person. Now, I can get into that whole deal about being the mirror, but I'll do that on another show. Okay, let's go with this. 9. Got to put that 9 up there. 5, 2, 5. I got lazy, Mitzi. I ain't going to hold them out. Okay, so let's do it. We got a 19 there, right? And we got, I got to put that 2 on there. Okay, we got a 5, 2, 7, 16, 17, 19. Get out of here. 7 and 9, 16, 17, 19. We got a double 19. Woo! Now, you know I'm going to talk about that. You know I'm going to talk about that. Interest is a double 19. 19. Okay. Equals 10. Equals 1. 1 equals 11. So, the 19 in the tarot cards, because y'all have been following me, is the sun. It illuminates. It sustains. Okay? If the sun goes out, we go out. So our interest is decided by an illuminating feature. All right? We want something to come out from the shadows. See? We want something that has been hidden in the dark in ourselves that we've been denying. What did I say? That lie? That lie? The dark about ourselves to be revealed. And that's why we are interested. We are only interested in the dark. Paula, what are you talking about? No. I'm interested in goodness and kindness and mercy and generosity. What's some more words? Can't even think of them. That's all I'm interested in. You know, I've got to be a good person, you know, because I deserve so much. No. You're interested in the dark. You are interested in revealing those things about yourself that you're not aware of that is holding you captive. Now, I really want to do that word, Mitzi, so don't let me get going and forget not to do it, but I've got to come back up here and see what dark is, okay? Well, how many of you have been watching me when I tell you you got to come down with that penetrating, impregnating chakma force, and then you've got to cross yourself. The only way that you're going to learn anything is to cross yourself. You've got to cross yourself. Well, how do you cross yourself, Paula? You do those things that you don't think that you would do. All right? That's how you cross yourself. You don't get to this door that's marked, enter at thy own risk, and knock on it. Can I come in? Can I please see, God, what you want me to do while I'm here? Because I'm going to be as good as I can be. No, you don't. You kick the SOB down. Boom. get in on the other side of it and see what dark things. The Bible says the heart, man's heart, is continually evil from the day he was born. So if we can reveal those things, reveal them to ourselves, then we can be loosed of them. Jesus said, resist not evil, and it'll flee from you. Well, what does that mean, resist not evil? That means don't turn from it. Let it in. You hear me saying that all the time. Because when you banish it, it's not going away. If it's on your path, it's going to reappear in another person, another situation, deeper, more mask. Okay, so let's see. So we want to know what's in the dark, because those dark things that are held deep within ourselves, that we carry around all the time, hold us captive. And I think Jesus went down into hell and set the captive free. So the good book says. All right. That captive's got a 22 in it, Mitzi. All right, so what do we got here? We got a 15. Ooh. No, we got a 14, we got a 15. Who is in charge of those dark elements inside of yourself holding you captive? Who is that 15? The devil. Are you familiar with him or her or it? Whether that's a Tootsie Roll Pop or whether it's a soft pillow at nighttime when you don't have one and need it so bad. Okay, we got a 10, 12, so that's 34. Wow. So we got a 49, which is 13, which is death, and transformation. Okay. Transformation. You see this? 1 plus 3? That's a 4. That's a 4. We are crossing ourselves, crossing ourselves, crossing ourselves. Now, in this life, we are to transform. Paul wrote about it, transform your minds daily. We are to transform. Okay? Our inner self is